Field Education series of videos, and today we're going to talk about the field education placement roles, and more specifically, the field educator role. So we talked last time a little bit about who your team is, and I want to give you a little bit more of a job description. So starting with myself, again, my name is Laurel Neufeld-Weaver, and I am the MSW Field Education Director. So what do? I provide oversight for all field education activities while maximizing learning opportunities for the MSW students and upholding social work values and ethics. I am the one that identified the potential field education setting and field education instructors, and this was done in collaboration with the student. We have a unique challenge in meeting our students where they're at, because in an online program, as you're aware, students can be living anywhere. And that means that we really depend on the student to identify several agencies in their community where they think that they might benefit from participating in their field education. I have to approve all those field education sites, and I have to create what's called an agency affiliation agreement, or a MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding. If you remember, there are two different institutions that flow into this MSW program. You have Goshen College in Goshen, Indiana, and Bluffton University in Bluffton, Ohio. And because of that, there's two different procedures. I assist the faculty field liaison, who you will meet through an introductory email. That person will identify themselves and tell you they are the faculty field liaison. And I just basically get it started so then I can hand it off to the faculty field liaison, and I'm available for any kinds of problem solving. The faculty field liaison is the person that is a MSW faculty member who assists and supports the student and you as the field education instructor with all field activities, including the development and implementation of each student learning contract. And we're going to look at a learning contract in just a moment. The next role is you. You are the field education instructor. And that means that you are providing and ensuring the learning opportunities for the student at the field education setting. Some of you might be a little bit more removed from the education setting, meaning that you meet with the student away from the site, and that is because sometimes we have agencies where there is not an MSW on site, and we need to find a collaborative partner. If that happens, we have what's called a task supervisor, and that is an employee of an agency who has day-to-day contact with the student, and as such is familiar with the services of the agency, has the needed knowledge and expertise, is in regular communication with the field education instructor, but that person does not have the educational background, an MSW plus 2 years experience, in order to fulfill the role of the field education instructor. So that brings us full circle back to what are the goals for student engagement in field education. It really is that critical moment where we want the student to develop a sense of self-awareness. This is their practice field. This is where they try out what their knowledge is that they bring from the classroom and apply it to practice. We want them to identify their personal strengths and limitations. We want them to apply their knowledge and skills they've learned in the classroom. It's also an opportunity to explore career interests and areas of focus for social work practice. Sometimes we found that placements where students do their internship end up being future employers. It is a place to learn and practice within the framework of social work values and ethics, and it's to engage anti-racism, diversity, equity, and inclusion in field education practice. So what are your goals as a field education instructor? You are the person that accompanies and supports the student on their learning journey. You provide best practice and empirical research to help frame the student's experience. You engage that student in critical thinking and analysis of complex social and structural factors, especially identifying places where there are barriers to clients receiving mental health services. And you provide evaluation and feedback to the student to help them with their own professional growth and development. Some of the other tasks that you're involved in is you are the glue that holds all of this together. You are providing and ensuring a learning opportunity for the student at the field education setting. As part of that, we ask you to commit before we entered this relationship to a minimum of 1 hour of supervision in person if possible each week, including support and connections to other MSW courses. I know that sometimes because it's an online program, people are challenged with the in-person part, and so we're okay with virtual, but if it is possible, we would like some in-person connection to be made. We would like to ensure that the student is aware of safety policies and procedures of the agency. In a moment, I'm going to show you one of our activities that the student does in collaboration with you, where they discuss safety in the agency, in the community, and in the larger workplace. And it really is about you having that on your radar in terms of thinking about what are some of the things that need to be cared for so that student has a good experience. So one of the main roles that you have as a field instructor is to provide the evaluation of the student's experience. And we do that through a tool that we call our learning contract. And the learning contract is central to all field education activities, including supervision and the student's course grade. We will provide you with a learning contracts template that we will look at in another short video. And first thing I want you to note is make sure you have the correct contract. It should, if you are working with a generalist student, it should say that at the top, or if you're working with a specialized student. And within the first 3 to 4 weeks of the student's field education placement, for generalists, that's within about 60 hours, and for specialized students, that's within the first 80 hours. In conversation with you, your student and collaboration with you will create a learning plan. And the student briefly will describe activities they expect to do while in field education for each practice behavior. We'll provide you with a couple things to help with this task. Besides the template of the learning contract, you'll also be provided with a document that we call required and examples of learning tasks that the student can list. And each of these tasks will fall under one of the competencies. And in the generalist level, you will also have to know which systems level is being addressed with that practice behavior. And we can talk more about that in the next video. So moving forward, we're going to look at the learning contract and the evaluation process. Thank you.